Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Yachts here, and it's Monday, and we're doing a Monday memory today, which is Mondays. Sometimes I take the date and I find like something that happened on this date in Raptors history, and we're gonna go 4 years back today, not too long ago, 4 years back to Tampa year, and on this date in Amalie Arena, the Raptors played the Brooklyn Nets and beat them. It was one of the last couple wins in Amalie Arena in the Tampa year that the Raptors had. It was also one of the last wins that the Raptors had with Kyle Lowry in a Raptors jersey. It was a fantastic game, honestly. The Nets beat the Raptors for the first half, and then they came back in the third quarter and ended up beating them by the end of the game on a strong game by Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. Watching the highlights of this game yesterday really brought me back and made me remember this game. Actually, I did really remember this game. This was a game where the Raptors wore purple chevron jerseys, and in fact, they were weird, like black on top, purple on the bottom kind of jerseys. You remember them? And I didn't think they were that good. Those jerseys are kind of ugly, the black and purple chevron ones, but they wore them on this day, and they won in these jerseys this day on April the 21st. 2021. So we got 4/21/21. And well, talking about 21s, an interesting thing about this game is off the bench was a young player from Boston named Bruce Brown Jr. That's right. Bruce Brown was in this game playing for the Nets on this date 4 years ago, and he's dropped 21 on us off the bench. In fact, it was one of Bruce Brown's better games against the Raptors. I think it's the one he references when he says, "Oh yeah, I knew about the Raptors from before because I went and played them in Tampa during the Tampa season, and I had a good game." I think this is the game he's talking about because off the bench, Bruce Brown Jr. in this game did drop 21 on 4/21/21. Yeah, it was a fun game. I mean, the team of the Raptors at this time was very fun to watch because for most of the season, we've been dealing with Aaron Baines and Alex Len. And that center situation was horrible in Amalie Arena in Tampa. But then at this point, we had acquired Kem Birch and Freddie Gillespie, and they were playing center. In fact, Freddie Gillespie got 5 blocks in this game, and Kem Birch was a serviceable starting center. So the Raptors were starting to look good. In fact, they were mostly healthy. This was a game where we had Siakam, Anunoby, Fred, Kyle, pretty much the whole entire team were available for this game, which was fantastic. And that it was fun. It was a fun game. Like if you watch the highlights, in some ways it's nice to see our former Raptors that we used to watch all the time, still in a Raptors jersey, excelling. People like OG and Pascal and Kyle. So, man, I highly recommend anybody, just for reminiscence sake, let's go back and watch 4 years ago when the Raptors were still in Tampa for that Tampa season at Amalie Arena, and they were playing against the Nets, and they beat them. Kyrie Irving was in this game, and he played really, really well. He was being a Raptors killer, but we overcame him and beat him by the end of the game. And a lot of it had to do with some sharp shooting by our players from 3 in the third quarter. We started hitting our threes like crazy, and we negated Kyrie Irving, who was absolutely a Raptors killer. He still is to an extent whenever we play him. And well, that was in effect. You know, it's funny watching these highlights also. I noticed that they were piping in defense chants for our crowd. We were guilty of this for sure. And it's funny that it's against the Nets, the most egregious offender of piping in crowd noises in their arena over the history of the NBA. But yeah, we had to do this down in Florida because we didn't have a real crowd, and we wanted to simulate that as much as we could. So yeah, they piped in defense chants when the other team had the ball, and you know, I'm not hating it for it. I mean, in some ways, look, they didn't sell out that arena very much. The arena was often empty, and also that arena was full of enemy fans or just neutral fans for the most part. So there was hardly any crowd noise in there. So I can't hate on MLSE and the Raptors for piping in defense chants when they were playing at Amalie Arena 4 years ago. You can't get mad at that. They were trying to get some hometown feelings for the team on that day. They had the Bucks there. Yeah, not the Milwaukee Bucks. No, and not the Pittsburgh Pirates, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A few of their players came to this Raptors game in particular, and they were wearing Siakam jerseys and supporting the Raptors. It was Mike Evans, the wide receiver, was the most famous one of the three that was at this game in particular, sitting there at halftime and supporting the Raptors by all wearing Siakam jerseys. So, there was a little bit of trying to cross over and get Tampa fans involved and rooting for the Raptors, but it was futile and it never really stuck and it just didn't happen. I was telling all my Florida friends at that time to go down there and support them. Seriously, go watch NBA games. You live in Tampa, you don't ever get to go to NBA games unless you go to Orlando. Well, go support the Raptors, the Tampa Raptors, for this 1 year. And, none of my friends went. Nobody went. I asked all my basketball loving friends down in Tallahassee and in the state of Florida, please take care of my Raptors while they're playing down in your state for this season because of the weird situation. And nobody went down there and supported them. It was just that way. It was apathetic. So it was really kind of cool to see the stuff that was happening with the Raptors in this game. They had a bad first half, and then the second half, they woke up and they kicked the Nets' ass. The thing is, the chemistry that was shown in this game was, in some ways, a preliminary look at what OG and Pascal are doing right now in the playoffs. They were very dominant, both of them scoring over 20 points in this game. Siakam, he had a 10 for 19 shooting, which is very similar to how he shot in the game one of the playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday. 2 for 5 from three. 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 27 points for Siakam in 38 minutes. And he was dealing and carrying like a number one option in this game. In some ways, I remember this right around this time in Tampa that I started thinking, you know what, maybe Siakam can be our number one guy and carry our team and be a franchise player. Maybe he could, because the signs were starting to point to this in the Tampa season. And OG, of course, he started to just blossom. We know that OG was hurt during the playoff run for the championship. And in some ways, he was much more important to us in the second year without Kawhi. He started to blossom and take over more responsibilities. And in this game in particular, he showed a real glimpse of the future of offensive potential OG Anunoby, because he went out there and he scored 8 of 14 shots, 4 of 9 from three. All 5 of his free throws went in. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 4 turnovers, 25 points for OG, a plus 16. So any Knicks fans, they're coming in here to check out the stream because I hashtag OG Anunoby. Check out this game, because if you watch the highlights, you will see how Anunoby was developing with us way before he came to New York. And y'all think that he did all this jump and leap offensively on his game just when he came to New York? Y'all are crazy. That man had started to show the signs for a couple of years on the Raptors. It's just it wasn't very consistent night in, night out. It would be like, okay, OG's going to get 25 like he did in this game. And then the next game he'll get 7. And then the next game he'll get 14. And then the next game he'll get 25 again. But this is a game, Knicks fans. If you found my stream today, because I hashtag OG Anunoby, that you might want to watch the old highlights of 4 years ago today so you can see what young OG was doing for the Raptors in the year of the Tampa year. And you can see where he really started to flourish and explode as an offensive player right around this time. So anybody who wants the history of your beloved OG Anunoby on the Knicks right now, well, Raptors fans can teach you. We can teach you. Yeah, it was fun having Ken Burch start. Ken was fantastic. 7 rebounds, 8 points. Nothing too flashy, just a steady paint presence that held it down in the paint way better than the Australian guy Baines or that guy Alex Len from Ukraine. Yeah, Kyle Lowry was good in this game also. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a plus 18, 3 for 9 from 3. And I mean, like I said, this is one of the last few games that Kyle Lowry wore the Raptors jersey and played in a game. Of course, the last game he ever played for the Raptors was in LA. It was against the Lakers, and we won that game. And he never played for the Raptors ever again after that. And of course, he didn't play in Toronto ever again until before the pandemic. So it is really kind of sad and tragic that the GOAT, Kyle Lowry, did not get to finish his career or play a final game in Toronto as a Raptor to say goodbye, because he played his last game as a Raptor in a Raptor jersey in Tampa, in a home, or actually in LA, but in Tampa season where he didn't play at all in front of Toronto. And it's too bad. Fred VanVleet was solid with 17 points, starting in the backcourt with Kyle, that 2-guard point guard lineup. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Freddie keyed the comeback in the third by hitting some important threes to get them going. 5 of 10 from 3-point range. Fred VanVleet showing up. Off the bench, we had our bench. Was interesting. We had a 5-man rotation off the bench. Gary Trent Jr. was 5 points. He was just in his early Raptors career at this point. He'd just been traded to the Raptors for Norman Powell and was still kind of fitting in at this point. Malachi Flynn, of course, appeared in this game, and he was a knucklehead, of course. Freddie Gillespie, like I said earlier, 5 blocks as the backup center. Solid play by him. And then, of course, we had Yuta was playing in this game. He put in some points for the team in this game. It's always fun to see Yuta Watanabe. And then Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher did play in this game also. He looked a lot skinnier at this point. And, well, at a certain point late in the game, Chris hurt himself. And everybody's really worried that Chris was going to be hurt really bad. And that happened in this game also. All in all, a fantastic effort by a great nucleus of the Toronto Raptors. And at some point, this game kind of signified what could have been with the nucleus of Anunoby, VanVleet, and Pascal. You know, that they talked about this. Like Freddie said, like in some ways he didn't totally agree with the Raptors going in the direction with Barnes, partly because he really felt like that nucleus needed to be explored more, trying to do things. And this is part of the reason why Masai held off on trading people like Pascal and OG and even let Fred run out his contract, because he really did want to give these guys the opportunity to try and get that nucleus to the next level. Alas, they didn't want to do that, and they wanted to go in the new direction in a new era. And that's how it is. On the other side of things, as I said, Kyrie Irving was the man. 29 points, 10 of 21 with 11 rebounds, 8 assists. He really was killing us, but we had a better overall team. Bruce Brown off the bench was the second leading scorer, 21 points. He had 14 rebounds also. So this is maybe a game where Masai and Bobby were like, yeah, Bruce Brown's good. We should get him on our team at some point. And they did a couple years later, but it didn't work out because it didn't really fit, right? Another player that was annoying in this game was Landry Shamet. He was really annoying. And Joe Harris shot 4 for 5 from 3 in this game. But yeah, the lineup of the Nets is really interesting in this game. They had Blake Griffin, Jeff Green, Alize Johnson, DeAndre Jordan, TLC. Yeah, of course, they were missing Kevin Durant, and he was their big player. But this wasn't a bad team at this time. The Nets were actually a winning team. They were 39-20 when we beat them in this game. So it was a good win. One of the last wins in Tampa in the Amalie Arena for the Raptors. They had one more win in Tampa against the Cavs like a week later, but that was it. And the season was ending. Of course, they had games still going on in the regular season at this point because the Tampa season was shifted because of the pandemic schedule and issues, and everything was shifted. So they were still playing regular season at this point. So I just wanted to go ahead and recognize Monday memory. 4 years ago today in Tampa at Amalie Arena, the Toronto Raptors defeated the Brooklyn Nets 114-103 behind a very strong effort behind OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. And, it is nostalgic. Those guys are on other teams. They're very valued and loved on new franchises. But it's nostalgic to go back and see them still in the Raptors jersey doing what they do. And that collection, I mean, the only guy in that game that played for the Raptors that plays stills for them is Chris. Chris is the last one left. They're all gone. Pascal, OG, Fred, Kyle, Gary even is gone at this point. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see where we were 4 years ago today, y'all. Exactly on April the 21st, 2021. That's your Monday memory. There you go. I hope you all watch the highlights. I'll put the highlights in the comments on the stream for anybody to easily go get them. I put them up on the Discord last night. So if anybody wants to watch them, they could. If anybody did watch them and they have any comments on this game, anything that you remember about this game possibly, because maybe you watched it yourself, please share it in the comments and we'll talk more about this Monday memory. 4/21/21. 4/21/21. There you go. And Bruce Brown got 21 against us on the Nets. All right, Trevor J's first in. Commissioner Fun, Trevor J. Good morning to you, sir. Always happy to have your presence in the chat. You're a rock. You are here always, and I appreciate you, man. Your faith can move mountains, but your doubt can stack them up right in your way. What you believe, good or bad, shapes the road ahead. So stop giving doubt the power to build what God already gave you. I love this. I love this so much. It's a testament to the power that he has risen. Yesterday, I'm not going to lie. I did my stream yesterday with you guys. I had a nice time talking with you guys and chatting about DeMar DeRozan's little incident this weekend and Jacoby getting his head shaved. and cut. But after I got off the stream, I was down. I'm not gonna lie. I felt down because in some ways I was like, everybody's going to do family stuff, Easter egg hunts, has family. I don't have any family out here. Like I said, I was going to do Easter egg hunt for the squirrels, which I did. I put a bunch of unsalted cashews all over the yard and weird hiding places. And I did enjoy watching the squirrels go around and try and find them like children trying to find eggs. It was fun. In fact, I put a bunch of them in one stump that was really narrow hole that chipmunks and small red squirrels could get into. And the gray squirrels were trying to get them. They couldn't, and they were getting really frustrated. And it was kind of funny. But yeah, I started thinking about it. And then I was thinking about, am I going to go downtown for 420 and go to Yonge and Dundas Square like I usually do on 420? I'll go down there and join the huge mass of people down there. It's like, no, I don't really feel like it. And I started getting a little bummed out. And just kind of, you get in that moment where you start feeling sorry for yourself. But I was like, you know what? This is no good, man. You can't be like this, because it's like what Trevor's saying. I will stack up mountains around me away from the rest of the world if I'm not careful. And I have to be open and honest with engaging myself with the world. I cannot shut myself off. It's important. So what I did was I went out in the yard and sat in the yard in the sunshine, and I read a book. I read my book, Blackball. I read another chapter of it. And it was on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Earl the Pearl Monroe and Dr. J. And it was talking about racism in the 70s and the things that these guys dealt with, and how Kareem didn't feel like being, somebody who just acted out for people and fans. He wanted to be his own person as a black man. And, it was very interesting reading about Black Jesus on the day that Jesus is risen, reading about Earl Monroe and how he brought the playground to the NBA court and revolutionized the game by making, his crazy fancy dribbles, and how he changed the game and put like a real black influence from playground basketball into the NBA. It's really interesting. When I'm sitting out there, I'm just taking in the sunshine from the sun, and I'm feeling God's presence around me. And I started feeling better, and I started thinking about, you know what, Lex, you do have to trust and have faith in God, in the Lord and God, in your creator, because he will help guide you and get you through. And on a day like Easter, where he is risen and he comes back and he defeats evil and vanquishes all those who are wrong and bad in this world, it's a beautiful thing. So I really did feel a power of Easter yesterday, that in some ways, he died for all of our sins, right? And in some ways, we can be forgiven and redeemed, and we can go on and live a better life in the way that he would want us to. And I appreciate that about it. I know I didn't get very religious yesterday on Easter. I was more about smoking the doobie. But, I've had a moment yesterday. I did really have a moment yesterday, an epiphany. And it made me realize that even if I'm alone out here, I'm never alone, because the Lord is with me. And I appreciate that. Thank you for your words of wisdom, Trevor. And the God's already given it all to me. I don't need anything else. I want for nothing, because the Lord is there. Yeah, the strength to tear down those walls that you might build for yourself, because you don't need them. They're not healthy, and you need to get out there. Yeah, I get a little emotional about this, because this is a powerful thing, man. It's a powerful thing to put your faith in the Lord that everything's going to be okay. That's right. Trevor's saying Oklahoma City beat the Grizzlies in a blowout. The Warriors beat the Rockets. Yeah, let's do our little playoff check with what happened in the action in the NBA yesterday. The day game was not compelling because it was a 50-point blowout. The Grizzlies getting it handed to them by SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Fantastic work. I mean, these dudes are serious. And honestly, the Grizzlies are disarray. Firing your coach like you did does not help y'all. And in some ways, we see a very vast gap between those two teams. I felt like they were very similar this year, but there is a quality level that's a lot different for Oklahoma City than Memphis. And it's too bad. I mean, in some ways, the Grizzlies are going to probably get out real fast. But man, those Thunder guys, yeah, y'all need to win the championship, because y'all are badasses. Honestly, this whole combination of Hartenstein with Holmgren out there and Jalen Williams, man, that's a nasty team right there. And it's not even like SGA went off. He didn't have to. It's a whole team effort for the Thunder that won that game against Memphis yesterday. Fantastic stuff. I see later on in the game, the Rockets had trouble scoring in their late game, and the Warriors stole game one in Houston against Freddie and the Rockets. It doesn't seem like Ben Taylor did a hit job on Fred, but Fred did not have a super good game. But I'm looking at the foul totals, and Fred only got 2 fouls. So it's not that they put him in foul trouble and messed them up. Also, it seemed like the Rockets played a veteran core They really did lean into more guys like Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, Jeff Green, and Fred VanVleet, and less of their younger players. Sure, they played Sengun. Sure, they played Tari Eason and Jabari Smith. But for the most part, they were trying to play their older players on that Rockets team last night against the Warriors' older team. But of course, this is the thing. Jimmy Butler stepped up big alongside Steph Curry, and Draymond Green didn't have to do a whole lot, just scoring 4 points, and they won. They won that way. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. The Rockets have a learning curve as a team. Some of their players know what they're doing, but as a team, they have a learning curve to learn how to win in the playoffs because they're very fresh and new to this, for sure. And well, the Warriors stole the first one. In some ways, that could be NBA script writing because they do want to ensure that the Warriors get somewhere in the playoffs because Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler together is good TV for them. And they do want to keep them going as far as they can in this playoff. Trevor's saying Zach Edey got blocked a lot in the paint, and they gave him a hard time yesterday. Well, I mean, you know, Zach is a rookie. Zach has a learning curve too, just like the Rockets do. And he has to learn that this is the level that it is. Sure, a Purdue Boilermaker. You can dominate in the college game for a couple years, be the player of the year for 2 years in a row. But this is the NBA, baby. And now you got to deal with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. And how you going to do that? So, yeah, Zach, in some ways, has got a long career ahead of him. And, well, he's got to start somewhere with learning and getting better. And he'll be better every single time he gets in these situations, every single time. Smooth is saying that the Pope has passed away as of today. A somber morning indeed. That's sad to hear. Pope Francis was 88 years old. And in some ways, I respected him as a pope. He was somebody who was a humanitarian and somebody who really was looking out for the people that are poor and the people like that. And they very, very much outspoken against certain people and very, very much like, he said crazy stuff like he's not against abortion and all kinds of stuff. And that's not crazy. That's just different for a pope to say. You know what I'm saying? So he was a very progressive pope. And in some ways, I'm sad to see him go. And it's weird that he's passed just right around Easter right now. But yeah, rest in peace, Pope Francis. And I'm sad about this, honestly, because he was a good pope. And, I guess they're going to have to get the Vatican and the smoke going again. And they're going to have to decide who the next pope's going to be soon, very soon. But yeah, this is sad news. Very, very sad news. All right, you guys are going to talk about wrestling. I want to make a rule about this, first of all. First of all, on the Discord channel, I want y'all to put all the wrestling in the other chat, just like the politics. Because in some ways, I want to keep it basketball only in the main chat for the RFF Discord. But you guys can do the wrestling stuff in a different thread. I don't mind it. I mean, I know you guys had running commentary during the WrestleMania this weekend, and you had a lot going on. But I thought y'all were going to be talking basketball, and I'd always come check. And I was like, oh, they're talking about WrestleMania. And in some ways, I want to be able to separate them and organize the Discord a little bit more by subject. And I would say everything under other, which means politics and music and wrestling or whatever other in that category. And then just basketball, NBA, Raptors, Tempo, everything we do mainly on this channel, on the main channel of the Discord server. So I'll respectfully ask that. But yeah, let's see what you guys are saying. And you know what, Reggie? If you're available tonight and want to, bring me some clips of WrestleMania this weekend, and I'll react to them with you guys tonight. If you guys want to watch some classic wrestling with me. Stargate watched classic wrestling with me last week for about 2 hours, and he enjoyed the hell out of it. Because I'll find some old clips from April 21st, past, like 84, April 21st, 1984, NWA Wrestling. And we'll be watching some very well-known wrestlers and early gimmicks, and it's hilarious. You see some really fun stuff. So I'd like to mesh the old and the new of classic wrestling and today's wrestling with you guys tonight on our weekly wrestling watch party. If you guys are available tonight, let me know, Reggie. Let me know what's up, man. Yeah, Trevor's saying that he can't believe that John Cena beat Cody Rhodes. So that was the main event last night, right? The second night of WrestleMania. And John Cena won the championship, beating Cody Rhodes. Wow. We know that John Cena just turned heel a couple months ago, and that was a wow moment. And now they've gone ahead and he's beaten Cody, and he's going to wrestle more. That's the weird thing, is because John Cena is supposed to retire this year, isn't he? And they're going to give him the belt at WrestleMania? That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Smooth is saying this about this also. Considering the heel turn and going for 17, it didn't surprise me. There you go. Reggie was in on it. He knew that John Cena might win. And he's saying, watch Cody will turn heel and get the title belt back. Interesting. Interesting. In some ways, I'm intrigued. G saying this, all blowouts yesterday, not as crazy as Oklahoma City. Golden State has Steph Curry experience and chip pedigree. Rockets are young and athletic and roughed up Steph, but they found ways to tire them out instead. Yeah, that's the thing. In some ways, people are saying that so far this playoff weekend, none of the games have been super close. There's been a lot of like big margins at the end of the game. So the games are not as competitive and interesting in some ways. I think on Saturday was a little bit of a close game in one of the games. But for the most part, these games have not been close. They've been double-digit leads, and just one team has absolutely beaten the other team on that night. And that's interesting. But in some ways, the NBA don't like that. The NBA wants close nail-biter kind of games. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that necessarily. Now, did the Leafs win last night? This is something that I should check on real quick. I think the Leafs did win last night, their first game against the Ottawa Senators in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. 6-2, the Leafs taking care of home ice against the Ottawa Senators. The battle for Ontario is on. So the Leafs won their first game. Let's go. There you go. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Smooth saying the Golden State Warriors experience really showed out last night, man. Rockets losing home court, setting the stage for a fast series. Hope I'm wrong, man. Yeah, I don't know about that. Listen, there should be adjustments. I mean, they did come out with a finalist for Coach of the Year, and Ime Udoka is the third nominee. So listen, I'm not going to count Ime. I respect him, even if, I respect him as a coach, if not as a person. But I respect him as a coach. And, he's going to get some adjustments done. He's going to be fiery with his guys. And he's hopefully going to get a rise out of them for game 2 against the Warriors. And, they have to hold court. If they lose the second game in Houston, yeah, they're screwed. You're exactly right, Reggie. But they have to hold court. Who knows? Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green, and Fred VanVleet. All of a sudden, Rita Rydak, Steven Adams. And then all of a sudden, the young guys and them are really focused. And they have a different kind of game. The other thing is that the Warriors could show their age all of a sudden. This is the thing. None of them are spring chickens. Their best players are not spring chickens. They're older in some ways, and they're not exactly the best as they were like maybe 5 years ago. And then you got a whole bunch of young guys that are honestly green, just like the green guys on the Rockets. So there is a lot of greenness on the Warriors team too. Sure, there's Kevon Looney. Sure, there's Draymond Green. But there's also guys like Moody and Podziemski and, stuff like that are not as experienced in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting. It's very key that the Rockets win game 2, obviously. Very, very key. Tristan saying, I remember that one with Mike. You remember that game that I'm talking about? That one with Mike? What are you talking about? That one with Mike? Yeah. Let's see. Kaloy's here. Good morning, Kaloy, and good morning to Santino. Morning, Lex and fellow freaks. Wow, OKC, crazy strong. Yeah. Yeah, they make you feel like they might be winning the championship this year, don't they? The Thunder. They'd be like, okay, you guys are on another level. They really are, though. They really are on another level above all the other teams in the NBA this year, above the Cavs and the Celtics. They are on another level. I'm just saying, they really do have that. Seymour's here. Good to see the Sheriff. Who do you see making the biggest jump this offseason, improving their game on our team? I like this question. There's a lot of possibilities, but I think that I'm going to go with the guy who cut his hair this weekend, that I could see Jacoby Walter making huge strides for next year and being a much more crucial scorer for the Raptors in his second year on our team. So I'm going to guess Jacoby right now with this one, and we'll see if I'm right. But yeah, it could be on the level of kind of like Oshai's jump this year, that I could see Jacoby making a leap in the way that Oshai did from the year before to this year. So that's what I think. Seymour's saying, Kaloy, yeah, the Thunder looking like good, putting teams to sleep with sound rain and sound game. There you go, sound rain and sound game. You know what, Sheriff? You get a dunk for your little Dr. Seuss rhyme right there. I dig it, man. I dig that. Sound rain, sound game. All right, Seymour. All right, 33. Your 11th dunk of the year this year so far. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. All right, let's see. Kaloy saying, haha, I've been doing that recently, going to sleep with rain sounds on and YouTube. That actually works really well. They got a lot of interesting sound waves that you can listen to through YouTube. Like there's alpha waves and kind of like different frequencies, and they do different things. And I know people may say, "Oh, that's bullshit. That's all just crap, Lex. What are you talking about?" No, I'm telling you, there are isometric waves and different kind of waves that you can listen to that can actually stimulate your brave waves and make you a little bit have different moods or even alleviate certain issues that you have going on with you. I know that sounds quackery, but I'm telling you, and well, especially white noise at night, if you want something to sleep better, you can find channels that'll do stuff like that. And there's even like hypnosis channels where they'll do things like they can, like, you can learn things while you're sleeping. It's crazy. I know it sounds like quackery, but there is some science to this, man. Yeah. And sleeping with rain sounds, I mean, people like white noise. Some people just cut the fan on and that's enough white noise for them to sleep. But yeah, I'm totally into this kind of stuff. I'll listen to some binaural beats on YouTube just for different kind of reasons and stuff like that. Yeah, let's see. G saying that Charles Barkley is calling Sam Presti and Masai the two best GMs in the league. Yeah, he said that in the interview with Masai this season with when they did the steam room. Masai Ujiri went on the steam room with Chuck and Ernie. And yeah, he said that. He said that to Masai's face. He said, between you and Sam Presti, you guys are the two best GMs in the league. Yeah. I mean, Sam Presti's looking real good right now for sure. Real good with what he's done with Oklahoma City. That's right. Kaloy saying, I'm a big Prince fan. And years ago, I saw a picture with John Morant and Prince looking alike. And strangely, when I see John now, I get reminded by Prince. Didn't think Oklahoma City would trash them that bad. So you're saying that John Morant reminds you of Prince? I mean, I can kind of see it a little bit. I mean, I don't know. He's definitely way taller than Prince. We'll have to say that. He's definitely way taller than him. Seymour's saying some of them shots by Curry is like, damn, man, why are you even trying to guard him? Yeah, he's like that. He's definitely like that. Steph Curry is definitely like that, man. Seymour's saying dash up king, and he splashes it like, damn, like, what a killer. Yeah, he's special, man. That's why some people are saying, you know, regardless of anything, I just feel lucky and blessed that I lived in the era that I could see Steph Curry play. And I know that's how some of these Raptors that play for our team feel. I know Scotty and Jonathan feel that way. That's right. Trevor J saying, I saw this rumor that Dallas Mavericks want to have a trade with Toronto for Oshai. People always want what we have, always trying to push trades and rumors. That's why I ignore them. That's why I don't talk about any of this, man. Y'all are bringing me some garbage lately. I'm saying, now, why are we even looking at this, guys? Why are we even looking at this? I don't give a shit about what people want. I don't care what they want. I trust Bobby and Masai. They make moves. But everything else is just noise, speculation, a waste of time, waste of my breath. If I even talk about them, I don't care. Of course, a lot of people probably want Oshai. Who cares? I don't care about this. This isn't news. All right, let's start checking some of the tabs. Let's see. There are announced the finalists for the awards for the NBA this season. And I'm going to go over them a little bit right now. First of all, the MVP finalists are SGA, Nikola, and Giannis. It makes sense. Those are probably the top three best players. So the MVP is going to be one of those three guys. I'm hoping it's going to be our guy, SGA. It should be. It should be this year. I don't see Giannis winning it for sure. So it really is kind of between Nikola and SGA. Now, SGA and his team dropped a 50-point rout on the first round against the Memphis Grizzlies in game one. That looks real good. That looks real good, especially since Denver just eked past their game against the Clippers. And that can be factored in. Seriously, that can be factored in. The finalists for the Rookie of the Year are going to be Stephon Castle, Zachariah Richet, and Jalen Noel or Wells or something. I don't even know. I don't care. It's such crap. They even like just blanketed out Zach Edey on this. You know, forget about our Raptors rookies. Sure, they didn't get any attention at all. They should have. Jamal Shed should be all rookie second team this year, honestly. But yeah, this is bullshit, man. I don't understand Reset Shea. Like, seriously. Why the fuck all of a sudden at the end of the season are they saying Reset Shea is one of the top rookies? He was shitty the first half of the year, and then he kind of did some stuff near the end of the year. But in the first game of the playoffs with the Hawks, he shit the bed. Like, wait, in the play-in, he shit the bed. They didn't even make the playoffs. So he didn't do jack shit to help Trae Young get past the play-in. So why the hell is Zachariah Reset Shea one of the three finalists for Rookie of the Year? Seriously, I do not get this. Sar was better than him. And is it just because he was the number one pick? Is it just because this is such a weak draft class? You just need to pick 3. So you're just going to pick him because he was number one pick? Because he's garbage, bro. And I don't understand why he is one of the finalists here. I don't even agree with the Memphis guy, because I feel like if you're going to pick a Memphis Grizzly rookie, you should pick Zach Edey to be one of these. I don't know. In some ways, the shade on Canadian players or Raptors is there. A Castle should win, hands down. If you guys pick either one of those other 2 guys, you guys are idiots. Stephon Castle needs to be the second rookie of the year in a row for the San Antonio Spurs, right after Victor. Victor, Stephon Castle, 2 rookies in a row of the year for the Spurs. If you pick either one of those other 2 guys, it's a joke, it's a travesty, and it's a failed rookie of the year, honestly. They have defensive player of the year finalists, and sadly, I don't see Zubac on this list. This is weird, man. Like, all right, I get it. Y'all are really pushing Evan Mobley to be the defensive player of the year, and that is probably he's going to win. I hate that. I still feel like he doesn't deserve it. I still feel like you can't give him that much credit for defense. He plays next to Jared Allen. I'm sorry. Jared Allen in some ways should wash out the consideration of Evan Mobley, because how much can you really say it's Evan Mobley or Jared Allen's presence out there? They got Twin Towers. So don't agree with Evan Mobley being one of the 3 finalists for Defensive Player of the Year. Draymond Green's only getting it on longevity in his career and his reputation. Honestly, that man shouldn't be on there either. It's not like the Warriors were a super, super good team this year. Seriously. And Dyson Daniels, I can get behind that. The Great Barrier Thief, because of his leading the league in steals, does deserve to be one of the finalists for this. But I think Zubac should be in there instead of Draymond Green. And, he should win it, actually. It should be Ivica Zubac should be the defensive player of the year, in my opinion. And these 3 guys as the finalists, they're probably going to give it to Mobley. And in some ways, that's the way they'll give a nod to the Cavs and their great record this year. The most improved player reward is stupid, and they should get rid of it. That's what I'm going to say about this. The most improved player of the year award is stupid, and they should get rid of it. It's the dumbest, one of the dumbest awards. It's gotten dumber and dumber because of who they consider who should be most improved. It's so dumb. Right now, this year, that 3 people for it are Cade Cunningham, Dyson Daniels, and Ivica Zubac. Now, they may give it to Zubac here. I think it's weird that Dyson Daniels is on 2 lists right now, first of all. Cade Cunningham, really? I mean, he was already really good. It's like, really, how much better did he get this year? I don't know. It's a dumb award. They should get rid of it. There's a couple awards here they should get rid of. Like Clutch Player is another one that's dumb. Like, why do you have an award called Clutch Player? And the 3 finalists for that are Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, and Nikola Jokic. Well, if you're going to pick one of those 3, I don't think you should pick Nikola. I think you should pick either Ant or Brunson, as far as Clutch Player of the Year. It's a dumb award, honestly. The 6th Man of the Year finalists are Malik Beasley, Ty Jerome, and Peyton Pritchard. And honestly, it's Boston's guy to win. And I don't disagree with that. I hate Boston. I hate the Celtics. I don't want them to repeat. But I will agree that Peyton is the 6th Man of the year, and he deserves the award. And I think he will win it, hands down. Those other 2 guys aren't flashy enough to get it. And then the Coach of the Year. The final 3 finalists for Coach of the Year are the 2 of the guys who switched places. JB Bickerstaff, even though he got fired by Cleveland, went to Detroit, and he is a finalist for Coach of the Year, along with Atkinson, who is coaching the Cavs now, and then M.A. Adoka, the coach of the Rockets, is the other 3. So that's the finalists for all these awards. And I don't agree with some of these choices. And I didn't expect no Raptors to be involved in this. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, Smooth said Justin Bieber looking messed up, man. People have been posting videos of him partying very hard. That's a weird little out of the blue kind of comment. I don't care about Justin Bieber. I don't care about that guy. Trevor's saying this guy put on some content saying that Ingram will be back in the playoffs next season. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, seriously, we should be in the playoffs next year. And, you go watch old clips of Brandon Ingram play and just to visualize that involved in our play of what we did this year. And you'll understand we're in good shape for next year. We're definitely in good shape for next year. I agree with that. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. So, the Cleveland Cavaliers took care of business against the Heat in their first game yesterday, 121-100. And the Celtics did beat the Magic also yesterday in the first game of their first round also. Yeah. So, interesting things going on around the NBA with the first round games, all their games going down today. all their first round games gone down. Today, there's a couple games. The Detroit Pistons will play game 2 against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden at 7:30. And the Clippers are going to be playing their second game against Jokic and the Nuggets tonight. Let's go see where the refs are tonight, just real quick. The referees for the New York game, Josh Tiven, Curtis Blair, Ray Acosta, and the referees for the Denver Clippers game are Mark Davis, Tyler Ford, and Ed Malloy. That's a tough crew for the Denver game right there. Kugat is the alternate. In the replay center will be the injured Scott Foster, directing things from afar. So that's what's going on with the referees for the 2 playoff games tonight. Let's go do the Instagram stories. Jonathan Mobo is putting out there that Jesus is risen on his Instagram stories. A very devout Christian. He's celebrating Easter yesterday in Thailand once again, guys. That's where they're at. He's got his season stats for his rookie year on his next story, and he's got some players-only shoes. And there's the gang, guys. I was right. Once again, Lex knows the gang, the entourage. There's the four of them there. Lloyd, Scotty, Jay Simpson, and Jonathan Mobo taking the picture. Gang in Thailand. That's right, doing Thailand stuff. And there's Scotty with some pictures of him around Thailand and traveling. There he is wearing some weird. He's wearing a Yankees hat. Boo! But there he is out in Phuket. Phuket. Is that where they say Phuket? Thailand. Scotty's out there standing amongst the mountains in the sky. There's a gang. Once again, there's the gang. There's Lloyd with the crew, and Jay Simpson. There's another picture of them. Scotty smiling, getting the sunshine of Thailand, enjoying the vibes and what's going on over around the world over there. That's right. There's some gondola kind of looking boats. Cool stuff. Yeah, there's Lloyd celebrating Easter. He has risen on his Instagram, and there's some mountains over in Thailand. Phuket is where they are, and then Phi Island is where they are. Brady posted a really funny Easter picture for yesterday. He is risen. Happy Easter, and it's Jesus doing the crossover on Satan. It's pretty funny. He's broke his ankles and he's fallen to the ground, Satan, and Jesus got the handle on the rock still. So Grady, pretty funny. He's also celebrating Oshai's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, boy, to young Och from Grady Dick. You got to love that. Team Tempo is out on blast for the soccer this weekend. Teresa Resch and her crew supporting women's sports, all women's sports, and the soccer team is one of them. Manuel quickly has risen on his Instagram also, devout Christian. Young Och, all kinds of great pictures from his birthday yesterday. First of all, from his fiance Avery, a great photo montage of their love and the life they share together. He's such a happy young guy, man. So many pictures of him and him with his cat and his dog and all kinds of stuff going into work. There he is on draft day wearing the Cavs hat. Yikes. Yikes, Oshai. Yeah, he was drafted by the Cleveland. Let's see what else we got in his Instagram. There's a young Och picture of young Och when he was young, man. Real young Oshai Abaji is very cute. If you guys want to see young child Oshai Abaji, go look at his Instagram stories. You'll see him wearing a little sweater vest and out in the front yard with his sister. And he looks cute. He almost looks like he has the mustache already. He looks like so funny. He's like 4 years old and he looks like he could have the mustache already. Seriously, it's cute. There he is with his sister on draft day, holding the Cavs ball with the Cavs hat, of course. And yeah, getting birthday wishes from all kinds of different people. Oshai Abaji. There's the one from Grady. He's reposted it on there also. The Raptor posting Jonathan Mobo and Jacoby Walter wearing the blue Maple Leafs jerseys and celebrating and supporting the Maple Leafs on their playoff quest for the Stanley Cup, starting out last night. Big victory over the Senators. Good job. Jared Roden saying happy Easter from my baby boy, and it's his dog sitting on the bed, a big shaggy dog. So Jared Roden celebrating Easter yesterday. Jacoby Walter has happy Easter. He is risen. So the religiosity of the Raptors on display for Easter yesterday. Raptors official admin saying happy birthday to Oshai Abaji. And yeah, that's it. That's the Instagram stories. These guys are still in Thailand. They're in Phuket. And the gang is out there getting the vibes and the sunshine and just enjoying, palling around together. Jay Simpson, Lloyd, Scotty, and Jonathan. Yes, right. That's those guys, those dudes. Yeah. Mike's here. Logical Raptors fanatic. Project Truth always. The future is now. The future is now for the Raptors because they got Brandon Ingram and they put him on an extension. And we got this starting five for at least 2 years. None of this free agency worries and extension talk. No, 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 no. Mike, we're going to have to go over some salary cap stuff this summer. And I hope you'll join the Discord soon, my guy. Good to see you this morning. MJ's here also. Good morning, fam, and happy Monday. Good morning to you, Fiercey Salsera. Always good to see you. I hope you had a good Easter weekend. And it's Easter Monday. I know some people are off today. Trevor's saying, I don't think the Magic have enough to beat the Celtics in this series. I'm going to agree with you. I think the Magic disappointed me the most when we saw them near the end of the season. They're a very shallow team with two superstars, and that's it. In some ways, they have no support from the rest of the team. They're starting Corey Joseph, for Pete's sake. And Corey Joseph, I mean, we love him. He's from Pickering. He's one of our guys, but man, he's up there in his career. And in some ways, I still don't understand why they don't start Cole Anthony. They like Cole Anthony off the bench for some reason. I don't know. But they have very little point support for Paolo and Franz. Those guys can go ahead and get 60 to 70 points between the two of them, but who the hell is going to score another 30 points on top of it? Nobody on the Magic is good at scoring otherwise. They had nobody in double digits other than Wagner and Banchero. So, yeah, the Magic ain't got no firepower to match up with anybody. They got to complete their team more. Their team is not talented enough overall. They've got two very, very good players that can score a lot, but nobody else is scoring for them to help them on top. And, well, they're going to lose the NBA a lot in the next year because of this, because they ain't got nobody. They ain't got nobody. Cloy's saying Orlando's offense is really like the 2022 Raptors, with Wagner and Banchero taking turns. Yeah, I mean, they just got two options. I mean, in some way, Jalen Suggs would help. Well, he helps more on defense. I just don't understand it. I always thought that Orlando had more offensive firepower, but they don't. They showed the same thing when we played them. Those two games when we beat them in Orlando, they showed the same thing. That there's just like without both those guys playing at a high level, Orlando has no shot, and they cannot carry them completely. Paulo and Franz, they cannot. They don't have enough. They're in trouble. They're big trouble, y'all. I want to give you all the straight goods on Canadian goods. That's right. This is a segment today. Today we're doing our steakhouse series. We've done Baton Rouge. We've done Jack Astor's. Well, today we're doing the Keg. Let's just keep it simple, y'all. The Keg is an amazing steakhouse chain here in Canada, and it is 100% Canadian, y'all. So feel good about eating at the Keg. They opened the first Keg in 1971 in North Vancouver, British Columbia. And, well, they grown and grown and grown and grown. And they got to like 100 stores by a certain point in the 90s. And, yeah, the Keg is just a stable franchise where you're going to get the same experience of quality and service every single time you go there. In fact, I've eaten at the Keg quite a bit in the last year. There's the one in Newmarket that I like to go to celebrate things. And you know what? If you make a reservation ahead of time, this is so crazy. This place on Father's Day last year, Father's Day, very, very busy day at the Keg. We called in, made the reservation, and the place was jammed, absolutely jammed, completely full. And what we did was we came in, we told them our name, and they walked us straight to our table. We did not wait a single minute, and we sat down, and the service was quick, and we got our food fast, even though the whole place was jammed up and completely busy. The Keg is like that. And the food was top notch. I know it's a chain. I know some people say, why don't you go to an independent restaurant and get the food there? I will. I have gone to one recently and gone and gotten a steak at an independent restaurant. But I'm just saying, in some ways, it's like for me to do the straight goods on the Canadian goods across Canada, I need to do chains so that it's information that everybody can utilize. So today I'm promoting the Keg. And some people say, well, the Keg is a chain. Yeah, but it's good. Their steaks are good. And I've always had a good experience there service-wise and food-wise for the most part. So, yeah, eat at the Keg, Canadians, because it's a Canadian company and they use Canadian beef, and you'll be supporting the economy. And they also get really high marks for how they run their business as far as staff and, employing people and stuff like that. So highly recommend the Keg. I know a lot of y'all already eat at the Keg, and you're probably all about it. That's right. That's right. Fiercey's got the steaks out right there. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. The Keg, y'all. Let's see what's going on in the blue skies. Anything blue in the blue skies right now? Let's see if there's anything going on here from basketball world. Doesn't look like it. Michael Grange is talking about SGA, basically. Here's a highlight of Steph Curry just bombing shots like y'all were saying. Oh, no, he didn't. He can't be stopped, man. He can't be stopped. Yeah. Yeah, nothing else really that interesting on here. Yeah, the Houston Rockets had their lowest scoring half of the season in the game last night. Yeah, you ain't gonna get anywhere playing like that when it matters the most. I'm gonna say that right now. Fred's telling them, I'm sure. Let's see what Raptors Reddit's saying this morning. Every series in the 2025 playoffs features at least one former Raptor player. So okay. So they're saying the Thunder Grizzlies has Brandon Carlson. Okay, you could kind of say that. Nuggets Clippers, Norman and Kawhi. Lakers Timberwolves, Christian Koloko. Nope, he's not playing. So we do not have a Raptor featured in that one. Alex Len. No, you can't say Alex Len. He's not on the Lakers either. This guy is old information. These guys are not on this team. Rockets, Warriors, Fred, of course. Davion Mitchell in the Heat with the Cavs. Siakam and James Johnson, Gary Trent in the Milwaukee and Pacers series. Precious Achua, OG, DeLon Wright, PJ Tucker, Dennis Schroeder, Ron Harper Jr. That's all in the Knicks Pistons. And then Corey Joseph in the Celtics and Magic. Yeah, that's a stretch, the one for the Lakers and Timberwolves. There isn't a former Raptor in that series, just so you know. There really isn't this guy. Yeah, let's see. DeRozan gets in a fight at sushi restaurant, man hospitalized. Man, this guy came up and there's more to it now too. They're saying that the guy came up to him and said, "You're my hero, you're my hero," and like they're trying to throw me out. Please help me. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? If they're trying to throw you out, just leave. Get thrown out, bro. Because I think what happened was DeMar was in another part of the restaurant where nobody could fuck with him. And he was trying to, this guy was trying to get to the part where DeMar was, and they were saying, "No, you can't go in there." And they was like, "We're throwing you out because you're not supposed to go in there and bother him." So he bum rushed the people and went past them and said, "They're trying to throw me out. They're trying to throw me out. You're my hero." And then DeMar hit the phone out of his hand and all that other stupid shit happened. Yeah, this guy is totally the problem. The guy who caused the whole thing right there. That's right. Let's see. There's a little footage here on Raptors Reddit of Pascal and Gary having some words with each other. Let me just look at it real quick and see if it actually does look like something or they're just making a mountain out of a molehill. Let's see here real quick. Interesting. So it does look like Pascal and Gary did have a little exchange there, but it looks like it's basically doesn't look like they're mad at each other. I know that they like each other because I remember them talking about each other and they're cool with each other. But it's interesting to see Pascal and Gary kind of argue about something that happened in the game. Like that's what they're arguing about. They're just arguing about whether there should be a foul or a possession this way or something like that. There's nothing that serious. It's not like they're mad at each other. They're basically just debating what the play call should be by the refs and what happened. So I think that some people may make a big deal out of this, but it really isn't anything. Really isn't anything. Somebody on Raptors Reddit has posted that Cooper flag in 2 months will be it's a Raptors hat with a Burger King on top of it. That's silly. I don't get that exactly. Let's see what else. Yeah, the rest of Raptors Reddit looks stupid. Y'all join our Discord channel. And also, once again, we have one spot in our WNBA Fantasy League open. Mike, if you want to play WNBA Fantasy, it's open. Anybody who wants to play WNBA Fantasy, there's one spot open. If you're already in, you're already in. If you're not in yet and you want to play, there's one spot open. So it's still there. Still there. That's right. Fiercey saying Chris Finch maybe as the next coach. That's a good one. That'll work. That'll work. If there's a former Raptor in the Lakers Timberwolves matchup, it's the coach. It's Chris Finch. There you go. That'll work. Is Phil Handy still around the Lakers? Maybe something like that. All right, Trevor wants me to do the classic card. We'll do the classic card. We're moving along swimmingly today, and it looks like we'll probably get an hour stream in, which is fine. I actually do want to cut out my time a lot. That one's too stupid. I don't want to do that one. Let's see. Who's this? Yeah, we could do this. This is a little bit tough. We'll see. Okay, let's see here. All right, y'all. Classic card of the day. First person to write the full name answer in will get the classic card points. So it's kind of hard to see. Let me hold it with this hand. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get it up close. I'll give you clues on the name because it does seem like this may need clues for the name. So let's start with Guess or two first. Classic car of the day. Full name answer, please. If you can try and guess first, I'll give you guys some clues off of the name after some guesses. So yeah, can you see him? It's hard to see. It's a really bad angle. It's kind of like what happened with Jonas yesterday. It's a weird angle to see the card, and it's kind of hard to see. So, has anybody got a guess? Just put in a name, just the first one at the top of your head. It doesn't have to be right. What team is that? It's the Sixers. It's the Sixers. I'll let you see that. That's the Sixers jersey right there. That is a Philadelphia 76ers jersey that they're wearing. It's tough, man. I know. Give me a clue. Give me a guess, Reggie, and I'll give you clues on their name. Paul Reed? That's way too recent. This is a classic card. This is from 30 years ago. So it's not Paul Reed, currently on the Detroit Pistons. It's not Paul Reed. All right. The first clue is that his last name is the first name of the lead singer of the Guess Who. His last name is the first name of the lead singer of the great Canadian band, the Guess Who. So if you know who the lead singer of the Guess Who was, their first name is this guy's last name. And let's see, what would be a good guess, good one for the first name? Blue Jay Upshaw for the first name. How about that? That'll give you the full name right there. Blue Jay Upshaw. Their first name is their last name is the first name of the lead singer of the Guess Who. Andrew Lang is wrong, Reggie, but that's the right era. That is the right era. Yeah, let's see. I'll read that in a second, Trevor. We're playing classic card. You call for it. Why don't you play? Trevor never plays classic card. He never tries to guess who it is. He just tells me to play it. First name, Blue Jays Upshaw. Blue Jays Upshaw. Second name, lead singer of the Guess Who's first name. Lead singer of the Guess Who, the great Canadian band that sings American Woman. And no sugar tonight in my coffee, no sugar tonight in my tea. Ba doo doo ba 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 da ba boo doo ba da ba ba. Yeah, you know that stuff. That's right. Tristan Trey knows. That's right. No time, no time, no time, no time. Yeah, you know the Guess Who, man. You should know the lead singer, Gene Upshaw. Gene Upshaw is like a baseball executive. He's not Blue Jays Upshaw. Blue Jays Upshaw is the first name, and the second name is the first name of the lead singer of the Guess Who, great Canadian band from Manitoba, who sang so many great songs. These eyes, do 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 do. These eyes are never heard for you anymore. Arms waiting for me, yeah. I don't want to see no more, no. Yeah, if you know that singer, I'm just doing an impression of. You know their first name. You got the last name of this player. My gosh, the classic rock knowledge, classic Canadian rock knowledge in here is not good right now. That's right. Blue Jays Upshaw. Blue Jays Upshaw. Reggie, not Gene Upshaw. Blue Jays Upshaw. Yeah, that's easy. So if you're a Blue Jays fan, you should know that one. The first name. And then the second is the first name of the lead singer of the Guess Who. And that'll give you the name of this player right here that played for the Sixers. That's right. Oh my gosh. We are at a stalemate here. Where's Slug Deezy? Where is Slug Deezy? Where's Slug Deezy? Where's Isaac Campbell? Where is Isaac Campbell? Come on, y'all. Those clues are good, man. Blue Jays Upshaw. Blue Jays Upshaw. Classic Blue Jay with the last name Upshaw. What's his first name? And then the lead singer of the Guess Who. What is his first name? That is the last name of this player. There you go. Fiercely saying, I can't Google. I'm driving. She's going to try and figure it out. Listen, if it's going to take that, y'all need to Google to get this. Seriously? It shouldn't be like this. This is basic trivia knowledge. Come on now. Blue Jays Upshaw. Blue Jays Upshaw. Who played for the Blue Jays who had the last name Upshaw? What was their first name? That is the first name of this player. Yeah, Willie Burton. Finally, that's right. Willie Burton. Of course, Willie Upshaw played for the Blue Jays, and Burton Cummings is the lead singer of the Guess Who. Burton. These eyes, do 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 do. Yeah, Willie Burton, y'all. Willie Burton. There it is, right there. All good. Willie Burton, guard forward. That was like pulling teeth once again, guys. There you go. Yeah, it's not a very good picture of him. He kind of looks like, I thought y'all were going to guess Thad Young or something like that. Oh, it's Philadelphia, and he played in the league forever. It's Thad Young. Kind of looks a little bit like Thad Young. All right, Willie Burton is the card. We'll put it in on the classic card spreadsheet, and we'll give it to Smooth. It was like pulling teeth, though. I'll give you 150. I felt like that took too long, honestly. Felt like that took too long. And he might have done some Google work to get that, but 150 to Smooth for getting the classic card. Boom goes a dynamite. All right, let's see what else we got today. Birthday. Happy birthday to the first coach in the Raptors history, Brendan Malone. I know Brendan passed away a couple years ago, but yeah, it would have been Brendan's 80th birthday today, guys. No, wait, no, 90th birthday. Holy cow, it would have been his 90th birthday today. So happy 90th birthday to the father of Michael Malone, who was the former coach of the Nuggets, who just got fired. His father, Brendan, would have been 90 today if he was still with us right now. So the birthday of the first ever Raptors coach is today, guys, just so you all know. Let's see. What else do I got here? That's not important, and that's not either. So we'll do a wrap-up, guys. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak channel today. Just an hour stream today. That's nice. Tight. I'm doing a Monday memory of when the Raptors were in Tampa playing at Amalie Arena against the Brooklyn Nets on this date 4 years ago today, April of 21st, 2021. And yeah, the Siakam and Anunoby took over, won the game with Fred and Kyle helping, and Freddie Gillespie getting 5 blocks, Yuta Watanabe. You know, it's that era, the Tampa year. Gary Trent Jr. just showed up on our team, and we beat Kyrie, Joe Harris, and Bruce Brown Jr., who was on the Nets at that time, scored 21 points against us on 4/21/21. So, yeah, this moment in history brought to you by Raptor Freak Channel, our Monday memory, April 21st, 2021. And, yeah, the crowd noises were piped in. Check out the highlights of that game in the comments of this channel after we're done. All right, I appreciate everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with Tuesday trivia. Come with your trivia heads on and ready to answer questions and get those answers in fast to get the points for the trivia tomorrow. So I hope y'all will come play trivia with me on Tuesday morning trivia every week during the off season. Keep the Raptor Freaks happy and Raptors content satisfied. That's what we do here. That's right. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, join the channel if you want. Join the Discord if you join the channel. And yeah, later on, guys, let's have some wrestling, classic wrestling watch party with me. I'll be on there probably sometime this afternoon early, watching it already. So if you guys want to drop in and just hang out for a little while, I'll be in the Classic Wrestling Lounge. And Reggie, if you want, bring me some WrestleMania highlights from this weekend. I'll watch them and react to them in the stream also. So thanks for watching me, guys. Tomorrow, I'll be back with Tuesday Trivia. Let's go, Raptor Freaks. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors.